Well, it's another beautiful day. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day again, so that's unfortunate. We've gotten a lot of rain here this year, a lot. And I know that people said that we were in drought conditions, but that may be only for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. But it rained right up again, and it's tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. So those are kind of frustrating. Because of the well. I've talked about the well before, but that's just a minor problem. It's not a big deal. Coming out here in the woods, I gotta be careful of all the spider webs. It's supposed to cool off. I tell you, it sure does feel like fall here in August. It's quite incredible. I'm really kind of starting to look forward to winter, actually. As I've said, I'm not a big winter fan, but living here, another spider web. And I know somebody's gonna tell me, you need a stick to carry around and swat the spider webs. Yes, that's the best way to do it, except when you're holding the camera, it's a little bit more difficult. You hope the camera catches them. Well, we'll get the wood stove started probably in October, and it's so relaxing in front of this wood stove. Going to sleep, I mean, man, there's nothing to make you go to sleep faster than just looking at that wood stove while it's burning, and it just puts you right to sleep. So today I thought I would do a kind of a this or that video, kind of talk about different subjects. I do these occasionally. And there's a few things I'd like to discuss. One, I've been talking a lot about SHTF, you know, these preppers, I keep talking about SHTF, stuff that hits the fan. And it seems like a lot of people are interested in my videos where I compare the differences between preppers that are stockpiling for SHTF and myself, off-gridders, living self-sustaining. And they're really seeing, I think, the advantages of living self-sustaining. I've been putting these community tab polls, and I've talked to you about how you can get to my community tab. Just go to my channel. You'll see some tabs. I think videos, playlists, and then community. And you'll see these polls that I've been making. And it's all about SHTF or some similar item. And it's quite apparent that people are concerned that SHTF is going to happen. I believe a lot of people have mildly prepared for it. On the other hand, there are things that people are telling me that kind of make me think, well, they're not ready for a long-term SHTF. And I think that's what we need to be preparing for. That's why I think self-sustaining is so much better. You know, people say, well, I live in an apartment. What am I supposed to do? And I keep saying, move away. You got to get away from it. You can't live in the city and expect to survive. So yesterday I was talking about self-defense, being able to defend your stuff. And the video hasn't even released yet. So I always make a video the day before. So in about 2 hours, the video is going to release. But I got to thinking about some more stuff since that video that I wish I'd have put into that video. So I thought I'd do kind of a follow-up. But one of the things that Carolyn and I was talking about after I made the video is in one of the polls, I asked, are you prepared to defend yourself in a long-term, multi-year SHTF? And of course, you get a lot of commenters on these kind of polls. Well, the majority of the people said yes, they're ready to defend themselves. I mean, a wide majority. But then you get those small minorities that first can't do it, obviously, because they said no, they can't defend themselves. But they scream the loudest because they're the only ones commenting. And they say, well, you can't defend yourself. It's going to be just an absolute riot. And the bad guy, it seems like the reply is good people have no chance against bad people. And I find that absolutely incredible. I don't know if these people are city folks or they don't understand you can defend yourself. I'm not sure. But it almost seems like they envision this Mad Max type of thing where there's a million bad guys against one good guy. And they're all carrying firearms, and they're never-ending bullet firearms. I just try to make it more realistic, and at the end of this video, there'll be a pop-up screen on the video, and that'll take you to yesterday's video, where I kind of explained all this. There's a couple things that we talked about. One, in a lawlessness society, things would be different for the good guys. In a lawful society, good people don't break the law, and they're always worried about breaking the law. So bad guys tend to get the upper hand on good guys in this kind of situation. There was a thing that happened in New York. There was a store owner who was being roughed up by a bad guy. Old man. And the bad guy came in and threw him around. Well, the good guy, the store owner, stabbed him. And the good guy was arrested for murder. Of course, later there was such an outcry that the prosecutor really didn't have any choice but to let him go. But there was like a multi-million-dollar bail. He went and did a GoFundMe, and GoFundMe took down his GoFundMe because they didn't want him to win the court case, I guess. So in a lawful society, the good guy is always worried about breaking the law. So we hesitate. When we're being victimized, good people hesitate. Because they always have to have in the back of their mind, I don't want to go to jail. Now, I know people in the comment section will say, I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. But in the end, you'd rather not be tried by 12 either. The Kyle Rittenhouse thing, he defended himself. And I know the comment section is going to go ballistic. But think about how defending himself has ruined his life. He may come out ahead on this because he's suing a lot of media sources, and I think The View has already had to pay a bunch of money to him. So he may come out ahead, but it really did ruin his life. Can't go to college. Even though he was not guilty, the Texas college won't take him. He's been slandered. He has to hide in seclusion. His parents he's had to separate himself from his parents, so he can't really visit his parents. It's ruined his life. Well, good people have to think about all that. So when a bad guy confronts you and you're about ready to defend yourself, you're like, wait a minute, what will happen to me if I defend myself? So you're reluctant to do it. Whereas in a lawless society, it seems to me that you're going to be more apt to defend yourself. Because it's either you or the bad guy. You, your family, or the bad guy. So, because I keep talking about the firewood. People keep saying, somebody's going to steal your firewood. It doesn't seem too rational to me that somebody's going to back their truck up in front of my house, and I look out the window and think, wow, these guys are stealing my firewood. So it takes them an hour to load their truck up with my firewood, and I'm just going to stand there and not do anything about it. First of all, it seems to me they're going to be a bit distracted, either by me shooting at them or by loading my firewood into their truck. But I'm going to try to shoot out their tires and disable the truck. I'm not going to let them steal my firewood in a lawless society, because it's either me or them, right? And since they obviously are victimizing me, they came to start the fight, I better make sure I finish it. But some of these people just absolutely believe there is no way for me to win in a battle in a lawless society. Now, in a lawful society, if somebody were to come to my house and try to steal my firewood, I wouldn't be able to take that kind of action because it would be illegal to shoot at anybody while they're stealing my firewood. I would have to call the police. I would have to try to block them in. I can use physical violence. I can fight them. That's completely legal, but I cannot take deadly force against them. So again, I have to worry about breaking the law, about people who are breaking the law. You don't have to do that in a lawless society. The other thing is, they talk like the bad guy is going to have boatloads of ammo. I keep talking about the never-ending bullet gun. But has anybody ever really tried to pick up a huge box of bullets? It's heavy. I remember when I moved and I packed up, I don't know, it wasn't that big of a box of all my ammo. I had, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 rounds of bullets, and I couldn't lift it. It was just massively heavy. I had to separate it into 2 different boxes. So how is Mad Max Group going to be carrying around that much ammunition? Because everybody says, oh, they're going to come in from the cities and they're going to just overwhelm you with all this firepower. Well, first, if they live in the cities, it's highly unlikely they're going to have a lot of firearms. City folks, think about this, are kind of against firearms. And if they do have firearms, it's not like they're going to have a lot of ammo. As a matter of fact, a lot of the armed robberies happen nowadays it's usually with unloaded guns. Because what they do is they steal the gun and they don't have any bullets to go with the gun. Or they have the wrong bullets. We've seen that a lot too. Now, on the same token, there was a YouTuber today talking about security on your property. The reason I talk about this is because preppers never practice what they preach. Never. They just come out with these, oh, I got a great idea. And they make a video, and everybody in the comment section, man, that's a great idea. Oh, that's a great idea. So you're out spending money on an idea. That ain't gonna work because the YouTuber said, I got a great idea. But he said, buy yourself a baby monitor and put it in your chicken coop. That way, if bad guys come and take your chickens, the chickens will make a noise. You'll be able to hear the chickens and you come down and take action. And he said, now it may not just be bad guys, it could be, raccoons or everything, whatever. Okay, first of all, I've got chickens and I can pick a chicken up when they're asleep and it doesn't make a sound. It doesn't do anything. At night, they kind of go into this trance where they don't really pay attention to you. I've had raccoons a long time ago attack one of my chickens while they were asleep. And the chicken just apparently didn't do anything. Not a thing. Last year we had a possum grab one of our chicken's wings through the fence and pulled off the chicken wing from the chicken. And I felt so bad for the chicken. But again, nothing, none of the sounds or anything. I actually had a trail cam on that picked up sounds. There was no noise from any of the chickens the whole time this was happening. So what good is a baby monitor going to do when your chickens don't make any noise? The other thing is in SHTF, where are you going to get the electric to charge this up? First of all, let's assume you don't have rechargeable batteries, you just have batteries. Eventually, you're going to run out of batteries. So SHTF, and we're talking about, oh yeah, you're going to get a baby monitor and you're going to be able to take care of your chickens, but you're not going to have any batteries. This is where preppers really fail to understand things because they don't practice what they preach. They just come up with a great idea. Now, you could get rechargeable batteries, but you would have to have a stockpile of those too because they will go bad. And you could charge them off your solar panels. But nobody talks about solar panels in prepping channels because they talk about these solar suitcases that hold, like 15 minutes worth of electricity. These guys, they're trying to run air conditioners off these solar suitcases and then think, huh, that didn't work. Well, of course it didn't work. You don't have enough power. When you're listening to these guys, be skeptical because they're not practicing it. They're just got an idea and then go out and blow a bunch of money. So if you'll click that super thanks button, I'd really appreciate it. So if I can inspire you to think ahead so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.